And then we're going to start seated this morning. So finding a comfortable seated position and see if you can let kind of your body tell you intuitively what that is for you. So maybe you want to start with your legs crossed, maybe sitting back onto the heels with the bum, or maybe even just sitting on the side. Whatever way your body wants to start this morning, finding a comfortable seated position. And then if you are sitting with the legs crossed, seeing if you can lift the flesh off the bum cheeks so that the base of the pelvis is connected to the floor. And then to start this morning, we're going to see if we can get a nice long straight spine. So really imagine you're stretching out the torso and the chest sitting nice and tall. Hands are going to come to the knees and you're going to place the palms face up. And we're going to start with the eyes open this morning. So starting the practice, bringing our awareness from sleep into the day. But see if you can just soften the gaze on something in front of you. So keeping a nice neutral spine at the back of our neck. Let's find something directly in our eye line and a nice space between the chin and the chest. And just focus your eyes on that point, almost as if they're kind of glued to that point, but not forceful, just nice and soft. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. And I'm going to give you a moment to just check in with yourself. So acknowledging that this is your yoga practice, nobody else's. Only you know what's going on in your body and your mind. Just taking a moment to be an observer of any physical or emotional sensations that are coming up. Setting an intention for yourself for the practice. And if you're struggling for an intention this morning, then I'm going to work with one for the group so that we can really start to connect into the body before we go into our day. So starting the day a little bit more in our body and less in our mind. Seeing if you can sink them shoulders away from the ears a little bit longer and then start to connect in with your natural rate of breath. Noticing the breath coming in through the nose. Notice how deep it goes just naturally without thinking. Does it go to the throat? Maybe it goes down to the chest, the stomach. And then starting to lengthen in the inhale through the nose. Seeing if you can send it down to the throat, down to the chest, down to the stomach. And then exhale through the mouth. So inhaling through the nose, feel the air go into the nose, to the throat, to the chest, down to the stomach, open the mouth, and let the diaphragm just push all that air out to the body. And again, inhale deeply through the nose. See if you can get that breath to the bottom part of the belly. Really flare the ribs out, feel the chest fall up. Fall up, is that even a word? Feel the chest rise. And then exhale, release. And then sealing the mouth shut. This morning, we're going to see if we can work with Ujjayi breath. So taking the right hand and placing it in front of you, imagining the right hand is like a mirror. You're going to take a deep breath in through the nose. With the mouth open on the exhale, see if you can imagine you're trying to mist up that mirror. So inhale through the nose. And then the exhale, make like a raspy noise at the back of your throat. Imagine you're trying to steam up the mirror in your hand. Place the hand back down to the knee. This time, keep the mouth closed. Take a deep breath in through the nose. On the exhale through the nose, but see if you can make that noise at the back of the throat. So Ujjayi breath, like the sound of an ocean at the back of the throat. So mouth closed, and for the rest of the practice, inhale in through the nose. As you exhale out through the nose, just make that little noise at the back of the throat. Seeing if you can stick with a 3 in, 3 out for the rest of the practice. So inhale in for 3. Exhale out for 3. And then as you're ready, gently releasing the hands from the knees, let's just start to circle the wrists. So we're going to start to connect in with the body this morning, but we're going to make sure that we do it on the right level of energy. So try not to kind of flail the wrists too hard and let the back go with it. Keep it nice and slow and gentle. Moving the wrists nice and slow, starting to wake up all the muscles and ligaments. And then change it in the opposite direction. And then hands are going to come to the shoulders. And on the inhale, you're going to take the shoulders up in front of you in line with the shoulders. Sorry, that would be hard. Elbows up in front of you in line with the shoulders. And then in the exhale, you're going to drop the shoulders, drop the elbows. Can't get the elbows and shoulders right today. And see if you can let the elbows go a little bit behind you. You'll feel the chest start to push forward. So on the inhale, the elbows are going to come forward. And then on the exhale, they're going to go down. So as if we're kind of drawing half circles with the elbows up and then round. And then with here, I want you to really connect in with the shoulder blades and the neck. So as you inhale up, see if you can sit nice and tall, drop the shoulders away from the ears. As you exhale down, just start to notice all the parts, the joints, the muscles of the shoulder that are starting to wake up here. And then taking it a little bit quicker, see if you can go into full circles this time. So elbows come up, see if you can take them all the way around. And this might bring up different sensations in each shoulder. So take it nice and slow so that you're really connecting in with that mind-muscle connection. And then change the direction of the circles, take the elbows away from us. So nice and gentle this morning, but we want to warm the body up before we start to do any full poses. Remembering the breath as you do this, in through the nose and out through the nose, with your dry breath at the back of the throat if that feels right for you. And then when you're ready, you're going to pause with the elbows in line with the shoulders. So hands are going to stay on the shoulders and the elbows are out either side. And I want you to start to check in with your pelvis here. So start to notice if your lower back is rounded in or is it nice and straight. We want to see if we can tuck the pelvis under so you start to feel the torso start to activate. Lengthen a little bit more in that torso. Keep the elbows in line with the shoulders. And then start to just hold here with a little breath in through the nose and breath out through the nose. Inhale in. Exhale out. On the next inhale, I want you to see if you can send the breath to the side of the ribs underneath the armpits. Really feeling them rise up with the breath. And then exhale, gently lowering the hands, lowering the flow. And bending the elbows, taking a circle with the wrists. And then when you're ready, releasing the legs in front of you, you're going to cross the right leg over the left leg. If you can't get the right foot over the left foot, then just keep it in front of you. If you can, see if you can just place it to the left. Morning class is always great with me because I can never get my left and my right. And we're going to hug that right knee in towards us. So you can hug it with the right hand if that feels right, but try not to be too forceful. All we're looking for here is that the torso is going to come towards the right thigh. So if you can, just see if you can bring that left knee a little bit closer towards you, and then you're going to look out, the right knee closer towards you, and then look over the right shoulder. So we're just going to do a nice simple twist this morning. Gentle inhale in through the nose. Sit nice and tall on the inhale, and then the exhale, you're going to look a little bit further over the right shoulder. Just notice your body starting to go with the gaze. Inhale. Exhale, twist. And then on the inhale, gently unravel, releasing that right leg. Gently bringing the left leg, crossing the left leg over the right this time. And then again, bringing that right knee in, left knee in towards you as close as you can. You don't necessarily need to hug it with the arm. You can even just use your hands on the knee. Just do what feels right for you. And then on the inhale, you're going to sit nice and tall. And then on the exhale, you're just going to look over the left shoulder. As you take a deep breath in, sit tall with the spine. As you exhale, look a little bit further and just start to notice the shoulders and the upper body start to go with the gaze. One more deep breath. And then gently release. And then gently crossing the legs, rocking forward onto hands and knees, coming to tabletop position. If you've got any issues with the knees, you can place a cushion under the base of the knees, or you can just adapt as you need to. You can do something standing or kneeling, just work the practice so it works for you. And then tucking the toes for this one. So toes are going to be tucked towards the mat. See if you can gently push the heels away from you to get a little bit of stretch in the calf. And then checking in with our posture in tabletop, making sure that the hands are away enough from the knees so that the back isn't too scrunched up, to see whether you need to walk yourself away a little bit. So the back should be nice and straight. We're tucking the tailbone under, but nice and subtly. So squeezing the bum cheek, seeing if you can imagine you've got a tail, you're trying to tuck it under. See if you can push the knees in towards the mat. You might want to unhook the feet actually for that bit. See if you can really push the knees towards the mat. Get that connection up the thighs through to the pelvis. Making words up. The pelvis and the hips. Tucking the tailbone under. Pushing the hands into the mat so much so that you feel the face come away from the ground. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Hold here for a second, but see if you can really feel that resistance of pushing into the ground with the hands. And then when you're ready, you're going to start to take circles with the hips. So on the inhale, the hips are going to go to the left, and then you're going to bring them as far forward as feels comfortable, and then take them to the right, and then back. Inhale, left, round, and back. And the circles can be quite small, especially if you've got any issues with the wrists. where you feel as if you feel comfortable. See if you can really let the hips fall forward and then pull it back round. Bringing the elbows in if that feels right. Bending the elbows as you move. And then gently changing direction. So we're going right with the hips and then forward and then back. So in an anti-clockwise direction or the opposite of whichever way you just go. And you might get a couple of clicks in this pose. My shoulders especially click quite a bit. As long as there's no pain, then that can be quite healthy just to make sure that we're all aligned. Oh, I'm clicking like a, I don't know what clicks a lot, but a clicker. And then gently coming back to centre. And then starting to work with cat-cow. So if you've got cat-cow in your practice, feel to go at your own pace. Otherwise, if you want to start with me, looking in between your hands, you're going to make sure that the hands are really pushed in towards the ground. And then on the inhale, you're going to imagine your spine is going to go to a C shape. So on the inhale, you're going to look up and you're going to drop your belly button towards the ground. So eyes go up, belly button goes down. And then on the exhale, you're going to push into the mat. Imagine you're pushing the ground away from you so much so the chin comes towards the chest and the elbows, back, the shoulders start to pop out. So inhale, look up, drop the belly. Exhale, really scoop the belly button in, scoop the chin to chest, and really see if you can push into the back of them shoulder blades. Then taking it at your own pace. So I prefer to do cat-cow quite slow because I've got some injuries I'm working with. But if it feels right for you, you can take it a little bit quicker. Remembering the breath, so we move with the breath. We inhale up. And we exhale, scoop that belly button in, scoop the chin to chest. So really getting the movement in the spine that we've not had last night while we're in bed. Quite rigid, and the spine doesn't get a chance to move in these areas. So just giving yourself a chance to really feel the movement with every vertebrae of the spine. And then when you're ready, very gently coming back to tabletop position. And then we're going to just stretch that right hand out in front of you. And then see if you can release the left leg in front of you. If that's too much, then you can just step the left foot back. You don't need to lift it off the ground. Just straighten that left leg, straighten the right arm. And then option to take the right arm towards the sky and just gently look towards the right arm. So we're in a bit of a twist here. And then we're going to exhale back down. Bringing that left knee back in, taking the right foot out. Option to lift the right foot towards the sky in a straight line. And then gently take the left arm up. So pushing into the floor with the hand is going to help us here. And then again, option to take that left hand towards the sky. See if you can look towards the left hand. And then exhale, take it back. And then gently placing that right knee back towards the ground. And then feet are going to come towards the mat. So tuck the toes towards the mat, sit back onto the heels, pushing ourselves up to downward dog. See if you can really lift the hips up towards the sky. And then start to pad the feet out. So we're going to start to work into the calves and the ankles and the legs today, making sure that they're all really present and awake for us, whatever we've got to do today. So starting to pad the heels out towards the ground. And then when you're ready, you're going to gently walk your feet to meet your hands. Or hands to meet feet, whatever feels right for you. And then you're going to come into a forward fold. So you don't need to be folded all the way down, even if the body is just halfway. Keeping a nice bend in the knee so that we're protecting the lower back. And then on the inhale, you can keep the feet about hip width distance or a little bit wider, whatever feels right for you, so you're nice and stable. On the inhale, you're going to take your hands towards the shin or just hover around by the knees. And then just gently keeping the gaze towards the ground, straighten the back so that we're in a halfway lift. So imagine if someone's got a tray on your back. And then on the inhale, you're going to take the hands above the head so that they extend that tray a little bit longer. And then on the exhale, take the hands behind you. Let's do one more before we come to standing. Inhale, hands reach up, really stretch the arms out. And then exhale, reach behind you. And then very slowly, keep a really generous bend in the knee. Use the hands like heavy in front of you to start to roll up to standing. And then we're going to roll back down again, see if we can get a bit more of a stretch in the back before we start to do the standing poses. So tuck the chin towards the chest, roll yourself down like a piece of paper, and just pick where you want to stop. So maybe you want to stop halfway. Maybe you want to roll all the way down and let the arms be heavy in front of you. See if you can connect to a space in the back and the shoulders or the neck, which feels like it's quite tense. Hold there and use the breath. Inhale in. Exhale out. One more deep breath. And deep breath out. And then gently roll and back up. And then come into standing. And then start to shake out the legs and feet. Start to shake off any energy that's been brought up so far by the practice. wrists, ankles. Feel free to get a drink at any point when you need to. And then come into a standing posture. We're going to do a pranayama exercise before we start to come to the standing postures. So making sure that our foundations are right. The feet are going to be about hip width distance, and we're going to lift all 10 toes off the ground. And then just start to play with the weight from left to right with the feet. So keep the feet on the ground. We'll see if you can really connect the pads of the feet towards the ground with the toes off the mat. And then gently come back to center, lower the toes towards the ground. Hands are going to come either side of the body. You can keep the hands there if that's right for you, or you're going to place one hand on the belly button and one hand on the heart. So for this one, we're going to close down the eyes, but we're standing, so we're still nice and awake and present. We're going to take a cleansing breath in through the nose for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to hold the breath at the top, but drop the shoulders away from the ears. Feel the feet connected to the earth, so much so they feel like they're stuck. And then open the mouth and really sigh it out. One more, take a deep breath in. Feel the belly and the chest start to push into the hands. Hold the breath at the top and then open the mouth. This time really sigh it out, letting any noises that need to come out. And then this time we're going to do an energizing breath exercise. So we're going to take 7 sips of breath in through the nose, and then we're going to let it go through the mouth. So taking short sips in through the nose for 7 counts. So hold at the top if you want to. Open the mouth and sigh it out. If your hands are on your belly and your chest, as you start to take 7 deep inhales, feel the action and the movement in the belly and the chest. When you took 7 breaths, at the top one, you're going to hold if that feels right, and then open your mouth and exhale. 2 more rounds of this. Take a deep breath in for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Option to hold if that feels right. Feel the oxygen go into every part of the body as you hold the breath in, and then open the mouth and exhale out. Last one. Inhale for 7 short sips of air. Hold the breath at the top. Feel the ribs in the chest starting to activate as you hold the breath, and then open the mouth. Exhale out. Gently releasing the hands. Start to circle the wrists. And then we're just going to keep the feet a little bit wider than hip width distance. So if you're on the mat, probably just a little bit less than mat width distance. But when you look down to your feet, make sure that they're straight. So quite often we've got a natural stance in our feet where our feet are out or maybe a little bit in. So looking down to the feet, making sure that your toes are straight, face forward in a straight line. And then you're going to see if you can lock the knees out. If you've got any issue with the knees and you can't lock them, that's fine. Just keep your legs nice and strong. Seeing if you can keep the legs and the hips exactly where they are, but just let the arms start to go from left to right. So the hips will go a little bit with you actually, but making sure the legs are kind of nice and solid. Seeing if you can go a little bit quicker. And then start to slow down, let the arms slowly come back to center. And then you're going to start leaving the left arm completely heavy. We're going to inhale the right arm in front of you, stop at with the hand in line with the shoulder, and exhale here. And then on the next inhale, you're going to take the arm towards the sky. Reach in so much so that you can feel a stretch down the right side of the body. Hold here and exhale. And then on the inhale, you're going to take that right arm down to the side of you in line with the shoulder. Exhale here. Inhale, hand comes down to the side of the leg. Exhale here. So inhale, right arm in front of the shoulder. Exhale. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Reach as if you're trying to get something above your head. And then exhale here. Inhale, right arm down in line with the shoulder. Exhale. Inhale, right arm down. Same on the opposite side. Left arm goes up to the shoulder height on the inhale. Exhale here. Inhale, reach up, stretch towards the sky. Exhale here. Inhale the left arm down towards in line with the shoulder. Exhale. Inhale, left arm down. And then exhale. And again with the left side. Inhale up, shoulder. Exhale. Inhale towards the sky. Really reach up towards the sky. Feel that stretch down the left side of the body. And then inhale right to the line with the shoulder. Exhale. And then left down. And then leaving the left arm nice and heavy. We're going to take big circles with the right arm. So right arm this time, instead of pausing, it's going to go all the way up in front of the head. And then seeing if you can release the right arm behind you. But seeing if you can keep the chest facing forward. So really big circle shoulders, making up all the words today. Shoulder circles with that right arm, but see if you can isolate to the torso's face forward. So the body might want to come with you, but we're not going to isolate the shoulder that way. So seeing if you can really circle that right shoulder, using the breath here. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale as you come back down. And then starting to change direction. So this time on the inhale, taking the arm behind you, up and then forward. Again, isolating that shoulder. If you need to bend the elbow, then you can do that, but just work with whatever works for you. Taking one more big circle with that right arm and then gently lower down. And then the same with the opposite. So left arm goes up on the inhale. And then on the exhale, finish that circle off. So again, notice with what side. So my chest goes a little bit more with this side because I'm a little bit tighter. Just starting to notice where you hold the tension and see as much as you can. Keep that torso facing forward so you get a nice isolated stretch for that left shoulder. Nearly got it wrong, but no, save myself, said left. And then changing direction, going backwards and then up and forwards. So really starting to connect in with the shoulders here. Setting ourselves up for a couple of balancing sequences this morning before we finish the practice. And then gently start to release the hands. And then for a second, I want you to stand nice and tall and close the eyes. Start to feel any sensations in the shoulders and the arms, any tingling, any heat, maybe the blood flow. Just start acknowledging that that's prana, which is energy force, which goes within the body. Noticing if you've lost the breath, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And then gently blinking the eyes open. And then we're going to start to work with our balance here. So again, making sure our foundations are right. So coming to the top of the mat also that you've got a little bit of space behind you. And then making sure that the feet are nice and balanced, lifting the 10 toes again. And then slowly lowering the big toes and then the other toes follow as well. Seeing if you can put all of the weight into the left foot. And then on the inhale, you're going to take the arms up towards prayer in front of the chest. And then the right knee is going to lift as well. Hold in there if you can. If you can't, then just lower the right toe towards the mat. Inhale, keep that knee nice and tall. And then in the exhale, you're going to gently step back with that right foot. So not too far. Option to stay high or option to lower that back right knee to the ground. And then we're going to move with that with the breath. So if the knee's onto the ground, you're going to inhale, push it up. Bring the knee towards the chest. And then on the exhale, you're going to step back with that right foot. And just gently bend the right knee a little bit or all the way to the ground. So moving with that with your breath. You inhale, the knee comes to chest. Exhale, step back. And just gently bend the knee. Inhale up. Exhale back. One more and then we're going to hold. So on the inhale, the right knee comes towards the chest. Use your hands in prayer to balance you. And then exhale, drop the back foot. Drop the right foot to the back. This time we're going to hold here. So continuing to breathe here. You're going to see if you can tuck the tailbone under. So the front knee is going to be nice and bent. Back knee bent as well. But seeing that you can keep the torso nice and tall. So try not to lean forward. Try and keep the torso nice and straight. Tucking the tailbone under as if you've got something in your back pocket. You kind of tuck it under. Hold here for 2 deep breaths. Start to feel our legs firing up. Use the breath. And then exhale, step that right foot back in. Lifting all 10 toes, this time bringing the weight into the right foot. And the inhale, take that right knee, maybe the left foot just points in front, maybe the left knee can come towards the chest. And then on the exhale, just step back and gently bend. So really firing the legs up here. On the inhale, lift the knee as much as you can. And then on the exhale, step back and just gently lower both knees. So bend in both knees. Inhale up. Exhale back down. Option to drop that left knee if that's enough for you. It might actually be a little bit more difficult for you because then on the inhale you're going to lift that knee up and then bring it towards the chest. So one more and then we're going to hold. Inhale, left knee to chest. Exhale back and then last one we're going to hold. Inhale, left knee up. Exhale, step back with that left foot. Bend the knee. Keep the back heel off if that feels right for you. And then again, seeing if you can tuck that tailbone under, so starting to activate the stomach here or the digestive system. Just keeping yourself nice and tall. Connect here with 2 breaths. And then gently step back with that left foot. And then let's start to kick the legs out. So really kicking the legs out and the hands. starting to shake off any of that stagnant energy that's being brought up this morning. Option to just jump up and down on the feet, starting to stomp the feet maybe, really starting to ground ourselves, losing any of that ego. And then gently slow down the movement, and then come into another balancing pose, come into tree pose this morning. So making sure that we feel nice and centered and balanced in the body and have a really good impact on the rest of our day. So try not to be too judgmental if you are a bit wobbly this morning. But you're going to start with the left foot really into the ground. So again, you can lift the toes, which really helps connect the pads of the feet into the ground. Lock the knees out if you can, and then lower the left toes. And then option with the right foot to come to the left ankle. You're going to need your hands here because they're going to balance us. So with the hands out, make an okay sign. So the chin mudra, the thumb and the next finger make an okay sign. And that's going to help balance you. See if you can lift that right foot to the left palm. Making sure that right knee is out to the side. So we don't want the knee in front of us. That's actually going to be a bit more challenging. So we take out to the right, the left, and right leg will balance each other out. And then option to use your hand to help that right foot up to meet the inside of the left thigh. Now again, this can look a little bit more difficult than it actually is, but just seeing if you can get that point of resistance between the right foot and the left thigh. Making sure the torso is nice and strong and tall. Find your tree. Option to take the hands up towards the sky. Using the breath, inhale in through the nose. Exhale nose, but use that Ujjayi breath at the back of the throat. One more breath. And then gently release that leg. Bringing the weight into the right foot this time. Toes come up and then they base down to ground us. Left foot into left ankle. Left foot into right calf. Or left foot all the way into the inner thigh. The only place we want to avoid is the knee. You don't want the left foot anywhere near that right knee. It's just going to put too much pressure on the joints. And then using the hands, maybe hands at prayer might be better for you. And then take them out so you've got little branches on your tree. See if you can look at something in front of you and just focus on that point for 2 breaths, wherever you are in the balance. Feeling the feet really, the foot connected to the ground like roots of a tree to the earth. One more deep breath and then gently release. And then start to circle the wrists and ankles again. Coming back this time with the feet together, knees together, thighs together. And then on the inhale, you're going to see if you can lift the heels off the ground. Take the arms up in front of the shoulders or maybe take them towards the sky if that's there for you. And then you're going to exhale back down. And again, inhale, lift the heels off the ground. Take the arms up. Exhale down. One more, inhale up. Exhale down. This time you're going to step forward with the right foot and you're going to lift the right toes to about hip width distance, maybe a little bit more, enough that you can feel the back of the right calf starting to wake up. And then for now, let's just fold over at the hips. So the chest comes down very slightly. For me, I only need to come down a little bit and I can feel the back of the right leg starting to activate. Find the point where the back of your right leg is in a nice stretch. Keep your hands up at heart center and take 2 deep breaths. Sending the breath down to that right calf so that we can start to relax and release any tension. And then lowering the right foot, bringing the torso back, and then stepping the left foot to meet the right. Stepping the right foot back or left foot forward, just a little bit so that we can lift the left toes and start to feel the stretch in the left calf. Again, folding at the hips as much as you need to, so that you can start to feel the back of the left leg start to wake up. Use the breath here. Holding, really sending the breath to that back left calf. And then gently release, stepping the feet to meet each other. Feet together, knees together, thighs together. And then we're going to finish nice and strong with a chair pose this morning. So feet really aligned with each other in the knees and the thighs. If that causes any problems, you can have a little step out. Or if you've got any lower back issues, you might want to take a little 1 foot out and away from each other. And then on the inhale, you're going to see if you can stick the arms up towards the sky in line with the ears, and then you're going to sit back with the hips. If you can bring the torso forward and really sit back a little bit more with them sitting bones. Hold here, hands can come to prayer at heart, and then exhale back up. So this really burns my thighs, especially in the morning. So just starting to work at a pace that suits you. Inhale, sit down in that imaginary chair, someone's pulling back with your tailbone. And then exhale back up. One more, finishing nice and strong. Inhale, sit back. Remembering that chest is nice and strong. So we're not kind of caving over too much, we're lifting up a little bit and then exhale. And then really start to shake out the legs and the hands now, getting rid of any stagnant energy before we come and bring the practice to a close. Feet together, knees together, thighs together, right hand on the heart space with middle of the chest, left hand on the belly button. You're going to take a deep breath in through the nose, close the eyes if that feels comfortable, and then hold the breath at the top and send that oxygen into every part of the body, every muscle that's just worked for us in that practice. And then exhale out. And again, inhaling deeply. As if you're taking a fresh drink of water, taking as much breath as you can. Hold the breath, keep that breath in, maximising our oxygen intake, oxygenating all the cells. Easy for me to say, and then exhale out. This time we're going to sigh it out. So inhale in through the nose, open the mouth, sigh it out. One more with the sound, inhale in, open the mouth, sigh it out. Gently bring the hands to prayer heart center. Finishing nice and tall. See if you can really send yourself some gratitude today for getting up this morning and starting the day with a practice, moving the body and connecting into the body, stepping out of the analytical mind, feeling a little bit more present in our body and connecting to the breath. If it feels right for you, gently bowing your hands and your head at prayer towards the practice and towards each other's energy this morning. Hope you have an amazing day. Namaste. Doesn't even mean for that to rhyme, but it did.